Hi, this is Duncan from Rock and Reel Reviews, and I am joined by Bryan from The Sword. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Welcome back to Scotland.
Thank you very much.
Weather, we were just saying, okay for you?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Anything outside of the Texas heat's nice.
Yeah. I was about to say, you guys are Texas based, so I imagine that we have no right to complain about anything hot at all over here.
Well, yeah, our it does get plenty hot, and there's enough of it to go around for everyone. So if you ever want to come get some, you can come get a little piece and take it back here.
Yeah, that may be an idea. I don't think there'd be any people that would complain about that.
Yeah, you bottle up some heat and bring it back over.
So your new album, High Country, dropped last month.
Okay.
And it has been very well reviewed. I reviewed it for the site we did. I gave it a really high mark because I thought it was a fantastic album, and I think it kind of signifies, like, not a departure in sounds. It's certainly a Sword. It sounds like the Sword, but there's changes in the overall sound of the album. Was that something you were conscious of moving into, or was it an organic thing?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. We just do what we do as the four of us. Each of us write the songs that we write, or the parts that we write. That's what we did, but we were thinking about trying to do something a little, like, trying to paint with broader strokes, you know, and just trying to push the circle out as far as we could, expand our base,
I think it sounds, because there's a lot of bands, especially just now, it's, from our point of view, from reviewing so many albums that come in, there's a lot of bands that have kind of caught onto your sound, your sound that you had even like 5 years ago, and have certainly been trying to emulate that. And it's good to see you guys it's good to see you guys using synths. I know I wasn't supposed to mention synths, but more in the music. Was that something? Because you were working with the producer of the Adrian, was it?
Yeah, Adrian. Yeah.
He's a Grammy award-winning multi-instrumentalist,
Yes.
And was he pushing you in that direction, or was it something that you guys wanted to do?
No, we were already headed in that direction, and he helped kind of just put us in the fast lane, or the HOV lane, kind of, so to speak, and get us just, because he had already worked with things sonically that had lots of synthesizers and stuff like that, and we were ready to do that. I have my keyboards and stuff, and I've had them for a couple of records, so it was just about, like, all right, let's just push some stuff, things that I hadn't intended on having synthesizers on, ended up having synthesizers on it, just being Adrian, like, hey, try to put something down for this. Like, oh, okay, let me think about it a little bit, and there we go. Yeah. Suffer no fools. That's pretty much how a lot of that stuff came in. It was a purely, like, non-synthesizer song at the beginning when Kyle was working on it, and it just kind of evolved to this different thing, and I really liked the way it turned out.
Yeah, definitely.
So I liked what Adrian brought to the table. I'm a big fan of all the stuff that he does. Yeah,
I was looking at yesterday. I was looking at just his work as a producer on certain albums, but the albums he's actually played on as well, and it's just pretty phenomenal.
It's got a cool vibe, and we were trying to wheeze a little bit of his juice. Yeah, we were trying to cop a little bit of the vibe that he brings to the table.
Yeah. I think that's the beauty of being in a band like yourselves, and having the opportunity to work with different producers and all that, is that ability to pick up on different kind of environments to record. In terms of that recording environment, did that influence the name of the album, or was that already kind of...
I don't really know which came first in that, because we were tossing around a couple of names, and that was the one that just seemed to kind of be the one. There's always something that kind of, no matter what it is, it always is like, oh, that seems to be the raised one for whatever reason. That's the one that, when I see it amongst a list, that's the one that seems to already be an album title or whatever, and that was it. But, did we smoke a lot of pot when we recorded the record? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we smoked a lot of pot when we recorded the record.
In terms of, like, even the recording process, you were saying, like, all the guys bring their own elements into the band. In comparison to the last album, was there any different approach to that at all, or are you still very much kind of all working on your own ideas, bringing them in, kind of jamming them out? and forming
Yeah,
songs from that?
I mean, the band originally started with JD writing, Age of Winners pretty much 100% by himself. Like like Lament for the Aurochs, a song that kind of came after the initial round of songs, was the only one that had like Kyle had wrote the intro to that song.
Yeah.
So initially it was all like, JD, he gave me a CD of Age of Winners that was all demo versions of it, and I learned that, and we rehearsed that, and that was the beginnings of the band. And with Gods of the Earth, it was more of like a jamming process, but still like him and Kyle writing the majority of the material. Same thing with Warp Riders, same thing with Apocryphon, and then JD moved out of state, and so that kind of shook up the process a little bit to where he, still wrote these songs, and they were just delivered to us in a basically completed form.
Yeah.
And then you learn your part and embellish it if it needs any sort of embellishment or whatever, and then go from there. And the next time we would rehearse, then we would just play the song.
Yeah.
And then on our end, Kyle and Jimmy and I would get together and just kind of work out a part that Kyle had or work out a part that I had, and we would then record that and send that to JD, who would then be like, okay, well, let's try this, and it sounds like it would be a tough or arduous process, but it was super natural feeling.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could do a record like that again today if you asked me to. I would have no problem. I mean, we've been working on stuff where we record demos at Jimmy's house and just ship them on, and here we'll get some notes on that. And,
Yeah.
What about this? What about that? Or when we get together, like, oh, I wrote a chorus to that song you were working on, or whatever. Sweet, let's hear it. And it was great. Worked out perfectly.
Yeah, because you guys, you've been on the go for a little while now. I mean, have you noticed that from a technology point of view, that sort of idea is maybe, is that the future? I mean, if you move back in state and live closer, is it easier to work on parts of smaller groups and send them off that way?
I think so. I mean, especially in the sense of like the traditional format of getting in a room with a bunch of dudes and just kind of staring at each other and hoping for some inspiration to come, or like maybe after the 7th bull hit you'll get really inspired and write some really brilliant shit. No, I'd say in that sense, like I almost prefer to do it that way, where you kind of set back from the group, work on something yourself, and then present it as much as you can, so you can get the initial idea across, and just kind of go from there. But I like it. I like it, and I would say that I'd be totally cool to do it like that, moving forward. Not that there's anything wrong with staring at each other.
Yeah.
We stare at each other months on end when we go on tour, and we're all still a very happy, loving family. So I either way, we do what we do, and this is the way we did it this time.
Yeah. And this is your second release on Razor and Tie.
Correct.
Was that I mean, obviously you're not going to badmouth the record label, but from your point of view, are they I don't want to use my words right here. Intrusive sounds like a horrible word, but I mean, I dare say they'll allow you the space to go and record an album, and this is when it's due out. And just kinda...
I mean, even when we were signed with Kamado initially, and we did Age of Winners, we did that at my house, and I had the Kamado A&R guy in my bedroom, it just checking up on us to make sure that what we were recording was copacetic. But and for Apocryphon, our first record on Razor and Tie, the A&R guys that had signed us initially came down and poked their heads in and saw what was up. And this time we had no label people showed up. Our manager came by one day, gave everything the thumbs up, and was like, "All right, I'm gone. Give me the delivered record, and we'll work it." So.
And there was kind of, it's not the fastest turnaround, but there was quite a quick turnaround between those releases. Is that, I mean, is there going to be a similar turnaround period for the next release, or is it a case of you guys are just in the zone for touring?
Now we're concentrating on touring and just doing as much as that as will be allowed. And once that's kind of over, we'll probably start working on Sword 6.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So you're touring just now. Tour is not that far away from finishing. Is that
No,
right?
we got a couple days left.
Yeah.
They're wrapping up here in the UK.
And then back to the States.
Back to the States. We got about 3 weeks off, and then just touring the States. We do it, and we broke it up into 2 legs.
Yeah.
And so we've got Cadaver on the first leg, and then what are they called? Royal Thunder? Yeah, Royal Thunder.
Oh yeah, excellent. Yeah.
I should know that. I shouldn't have to look away and like try to find out some sort of help. What are those guys called again?
Mine.
Oh shit! Why can't I remember that right now? Always happens.
And next year, anything we can announce?
Well, we've got a lot of cool stuff, brewing. We've been doing some stuff with High Country that I don't think people are going to expect.
All right.
There's some songs on the record that you might not think would be capable of being played live, and maybe we're going to try to play them. Maybe not exactly how they sound on the record, but trying to, keep things new and exciting, for everyone involved. Right now, when we end the show, we're actually playing a remix of Seriously Mysterious that Adrian did for us.
All right, yeah.
And, just having some fun with it and not really sticking to the script so much. And, it's doing us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as like what else is coming down the pipe, it is about 10 years since we put out Age of Winners.
Yeah.
It will be February 2016. So we're trying to get some cool stuff going with Kamado. We've been talking with them a bunch lately about either repressing our Kamado stuff, or maybe even, dare I say, a greatest hits, the Kamado years or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
We did a lot of videos that were never really played on MTV aside from Winter's Wolves, so we like that to be in a format that's not on YouTube or some shit like that, where you could check that out and it would actually look and sound respectable. So yeah, there's a lot of ideas out there that we'd like to try to pursue as far as what would be next, aside from just going in and trying to write another record.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. The last question I'm going to ask you before I let you go and chill. The site that we write for and review for and do interviews for, it covers primarily punk rock and metal, but it also covers movies. Do you get a chance to watch many movies?
Well, I got to see 3 on the flight over here. I watched the new Avengers.
Oh, right, yeah.
I give that a solid 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Even on the little screen, it's translated. Interstellar was really cool. I picked that one purely based on length alone. I was like, oh man, well this will definitely take up a lot of this flight. And I heard it's really, really like sciencey, so I'm cool with that. Let's check it out. I really like that one. That was really cool. I may watch that again on the flight back. It was that good. I might want to watch it again. I hate to say, I can't remember what the third movie I watched was. I think by that time, like, I really started to get like delusional from the loss of sleep, or the lack of sleep there, I should say. So I actually don't even remember what the third one was. Maybe it was a comedy of some sort. I can't really remember.
Oh, it'd be a good balance. You have your science movie, your long science movie, you have your comedy, which kind of breaks the ice there, and then you have your action superhero movie.
Exactly.
Much of a fan of kind of superhero movies, because they're the big thing.
No, totally. And I grew up in the height of the comic book kind of revitalization in the mid '90s, and so I totally collected and read comics like crazy back then. And so it's really cool
to
see all that. Really, actually, I like that a lot. I like, I'm totally cool with seeing all the stuff I grew up on, still being relevant somehow.
Yeah. I mean, it gets released for a brand new market, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Bryan.
Of course.
I can't wait to see you live later on.
Yeah.
And High Country's out there just now. Go and pick it up. It's a brilliant record.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.